I do think there's another side of looking polished and confident that we don't really talk about that much on the internet. Because honestly, you can have all of these things I just mentioned, perfect everything, and still not feel confident or polished. Hi, my pretty people. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Tanya, a retired makeup artist, a beauty and fashion lover, and ear pink obsessed bestie. I've been keeping an eye on what kind of video requests I've been getting. I've been getting a lot of requests for content surrounding guides for us women, feminine guides, how to be more feminine, how to be more girly, how to tap into that femininity, how to build beauty routines, and that kind of content. And I am so excited to see this in my video requests because I love talking about this kind of stuff. And I'm so excited because for today, I'm bringing you guys a topic I'm very passionate about, and it is how to look your best, how to be polished, poised, feminine, how to just tap into those parts of yourself. Divine femininity can be very magnetic. The world is ours when we're able to tap into that magnetism and that femininity. I will say, as somebody who has been in my masculine and survival for a lot of my life, this is a thing that I have struggled with and through the years have done my best to tap into through many multiple different ways, whether it's my beauty routines to, romanticizing my life to the color pink. And I think we all understand and get it. And if you've been here long enough, you basically have seen me grow up with you. I've always been very girly, very feminine in my aesthetic, not so much in my personality though. I have had moments of, not feeling very feminine and moments of feeling very survival. And I think today I want to talk to you guys not only about the physical parts of looking your best, feeling your best, and feeling polished, but also some philosophical parts. So we're going to go into all of it, girliness, how to always look polished, how to always look your best, and how I facilitate these things for myself in a day-to-day life, because it can be very hard to feel like you have to keep up with these things. So I want to talk about how I make these things easier for myself, why they make me feel good, why they'll make you feel good, and just get into it. I am going to go ahead and start off with one of the physical aspects that I think always makes me feel good, and that is my hair. If you guys have been here long enough, I am such a person that hated doing my hair, so much so that I have literally always been looking for ways to make my hair look better but less effort, sort of, but it looks high effort. I just want my hair to look polished but not spend hours doing it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and get into how I keep my hair polished. I always say your hair is what pulls everything together. I can have my makeup done, my outfit on, jewelry, but if my hair isn't styled, I just don't feel finished. I've been testing the new Dreamy Hairstyle era, and I wanted to show you two completely different looks I can get with it. First of all, can we appreciate how pretty this is? The pink purple finish is gorgeous, and it comes with 8 interchangeable attachments, so it's basically one styling system instead of a bunch of separate hot tools. This is honestly my favorite attachment. Watch this. It literally grabs the hair by itself. Then I slide it over to the cool shot to lock everything in. This sets the curl so that your hairstyle lasts the entire day. Unlike traditional hot tools with hot plates sitting directly on your hair, it's using airflow to reduce heat damage and keep my hair smooth and healthy. For me, soft curls instantly make any outfit feel more feminine. It's crazy how changing your hairstyle completely changes your whole vibe. Look at the difference. Some days I just want a sleek look in under 5 minutes, and this attachment is so satisfying because it just glides through the hair. No snagging, no pulling. It smooths everything out without frying my hair, which I really appreciate since my hair is color treated. Same makeup, same outfit, completely different energy. That's honestly why I like having different styling options. Everything swaps out really quickly, and I can go from curls to sleek hair depending on how I want to look that day. Honestly, this costs about the same as one salon blowout, and you will then save thousands in blowout memberships. If you have been looking for an all-in-one styling tool, I'll have it linked below. You can also use my code TANYA26 for a discount, so definitely check the link in my description. I want to say thank you so much to Dreamy for sponsoring today's video with that gorgeous, incredible hair tool you guys just saw. Keeping my hair polished and keeping my hair put together is a very big part of feeling good. I feel like when my hair is not looking the best, I don't feel like I feel the best in my appearance, to be honest. And for me, looking good has always meant feeling good, as superficial as that can sound to some people. I have always believed that investing in yourself, giving yourself self-care, self-love in ways that make you feel and look good is the best way to tap into that femininity. Again, we'll get into some more mental and emotional ways to feel more feminine. I swear to you guys, these things help so much. Not saying that this is a one size fits all. I'm just hoping that this helps at least one girly girl out there. If you are looking to tap into your femininity, you've been feeling a little bit of burnout, you've been feeling a little bit dull, I hope this video helps you. Fragrances, you guys. I think it's important to find your fragrance palette. And what I mean by that is everybody's pH balance is a little different, as well as our preferences can be a little bit different as well when it comes to fragrance. It is very important to figure out what you like as far as your fragrance palette. It makes it so much easier to find a good staple perfume. Pretty much have rotated through staple perfumes over the years that you guys have grown and seen here on my channel. I was obsessed with Burberry hair for a while. Right now my staple fragrance is Dolce & Gabbana Devotion. Another one that's a really big go-to for me is the Flower Bomb Pretty Peony. I gravitate towards very gourmand, floral, or warm scents. Very sexy and warm. They're either floral or gourmand, or they're a mixture of all of these. And if you guys watch any of my perfume collections or fragrance videos, I'm always talking about sexy and sweet perfumes, okay? And genuinely, that is my fragrance palette. For you, it might be citrus, it might be musk, it might be a combination of 3 different categories that you really genuinely enjoy and love. But it is very important for you to find your fragrance palette. And I'm not saying to go buy a very expensive fragrance. I'm saying find your fragrance palette, because you can find very affordable fragrances or even body sprays that you can wear because you don't have to spend a lot of money to feel feminine. But it is important to invest in yourself in small ways. Even if you get a $6 Bath & Body Works spray that I just picked up during their $6 spray sale right here, covered in roses, literally smells like Delina, which is a $400 fragrance, is one of my favorites. This was only $20 at Burlington, and this smells incredible. This is Lattafa Yara perfume in the, I think it's the pink one, and this, guys, lasts all day on me. This is one of my favorite everyday that I wear all of the time. It smells so sweet. It is just perfect for my palette that I just described. You know, I pulled a couple of expensive perfumes and a couple of inexpensive perfumes to show you guys that you don't have to spend a lot of money to feel feminine. You can go to Burlington, okay? You can $20, $6, like you can't go wrong with $6. I do tend to layer some of these as well, and just the experience of smelling nice to me makes me feel very put together. It makes me feel very polished, and it just makes me feel good. You know what I mean? I love smelling nice. Here are a couple other fragrance options that I love. Dior Kayali Bougie Marshmallow, Gorgeous Love Shack Fancy Spray is so good. I put that one in my hair a lot. I love warm scents, you guys. Gisou hair perfume because it smells like honey and flowers, and that's just kind of like what I like. Of course, Velvet Petal de Janeiro 68. I mean, very basic options here that you could probably think off the top of your head if you're into the same fragrance family that I'm into. Dior. So yeah, just, you know, find your fragrance palette. I promise you, it will elevate that it girl game for you. It will make you feel more polished and more put together when you know exactly what you're shopping for, and you're not just picking random things and seeing what sticks. You know what I mean? Next for me is to have staple jewelry. I love having a staple jewelry piece. Again, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be stuff that was gifted to you from a significant other or a family member. My husband gifted me pretty much all my jewelry. This is a swan from Swarovski, so it doesn't have to be super pricey. Before I had like the silver Tiffany's necklace. That's not as that expensive, honestly. And of course, my engagement ring is a big one, but you don't have to. Obviously, some of you girls might not be engaged. You don't have to go get an engagement or a man. I'm saying pick some staple pieces of jewelry, even if they're inexpensive. Go to Pandora, get yourself a princess ring as a promise to yourself. Romanticize your life, make goals, make promises to yourself, and then hold yourself accountable. All of those things make you feel more confident, more polished, so put together. Once I have my jewelry on, I don't go anywhere without my jewelry. So jewelry is a very big part for me in the physical aspect of looking polished and put together. The next thing I want to talk about is your makeup routine. I think it can be very easy to just disregard your makeup routine or just kind of slap something on every day, especially if you're a working girly or a 9-to-5 girl. But I'm telling you, it is so important to find a staple makeup routine. And what I'm talking about, I'm not even talking about product. I'm talking about a routine that makes sense for you, a map, a skeleton of your makeup routine. It's basically like the the order in which you prefer to do your makeup, as well as the makeup placement that you like your makeup to be in, because we all have different face shapes and different eye shapes and things. There's going to be different placements that work for each and every one of you. Look up what your face shape is, look up what your eye shape is, and figure out the best placement for makeup for your face and eye shape. Make sure you're using flattering colors that look good on you. Like for me, I have a neutral undertone, so naturally very neutral colors and cool tones look best on me, or things that are slightly warm but not too warm. I don't look good in oranges and things like that, right? And it has never looked good on me, so I stick to very neutral or cool tone type of colors. Not too cool tone though. Do look really good with plums and burgundies and stuff like that. So just find your colors, find your makeup placement, find the skeleton of what your routine should be, and when you have that down, it doesn't matter. Even if you're trying a new product, you can usually get your makeup to look really good for the day. I do this one routine all of the time, and then I tweak it. I literally tweak it to match whatever I'm doing. Nighttime, I'm gonna use like darker colors. If it's daytime, I'm gonna use softer brown. If it is, you know, a glamorous event, I'm gonna throw a glitter on my eyelids, but ultimately I use pretty much the same skeleton every single time. I also only stick to corner lashes now because I found out with my eye shape, full lash strip is not best. It makes my eye look too heavy. So you just gotta find your personal styling, your personal colors, and investing time and energy into this sounds silly, sounds superficial, but I promise you guys, the way it makes you feel when you know you're confident in the colors you're wearing, in the makeup you're wearing, in the hair that you're wearing, literally brings a whole different energy into the room. You want to be magnetic whenever you walk into a room. You want to look polished, you want to look put together, you want to look confident. These things, these little micro investments you can make that seem kind of superficial and seem very like shallow, these things will help you. Things are not actually shallow when you think about it, because these small little micro things that you can invest in yourself, from your jewelry, your fragrance, your hair, your makeup, if you can narrow down these routines and these things about yourself, your preferences, you will have such a magnetic energy about you when you walk in a room, because you not only look confident, you feel more confident on the inside. If you feel confident, you look confident, because that's just how it goes. That's magnetic to people. Somebody who walks in a room and you know you're not comparing yourself to anyone, because you know who you are, you know what you like, and you know you don't need anybody else's opinion or anybody else's approval in terms of anything, really. And whenever you strengthen your preferences, like you strengthen your taste for different things about yourself, it's going to really strengthen your mind as well, because you will become more decisive. You will know exactly what you want. You will learn a lot about yourself in ways that also helps you mentally. Funny how all of this connects, but it does connect. Of course, we're going to talk about wardrobe, because I think wardrobe is a big part of looking polished. Obviously, your whole outfit, it's a presentation of you. So I do have to say that it is important to curate a wardrobe that you feel confident in, and honestly comfortable as well. Like, not just confident. I will say I'm a big advocate for sometimes beauty is pain. In some outfits, you just have to kind of roll with the punches, but it depends how iconic the outfit is, okay? Girl, I will hold my breath in that outfit, but it is important to have a wardrobe that you do feel comfortable in, regardless, because honestly, feeling comfortable in your clothing is very, very important. We don't talk about this enough. Like, I love this little sweater dress because it is so polished, it's so cute, it looks so put together, but it is the most comfortable thing I have in my closet probably. I do like to measure my actual measurements before I order online things, because I feel like if something is too small, I hate returning it and then I'll try to squeeze in it. And one thing I've learned to do now is to, girl, just measure. Just size up. Just size up. Get your exact measurement. So when you order clothes online, put them in your notes app, and you always have them, so you can always choose the right size. That is one part of, you know, having a polished wardrobe that you can actually use and feel comfortable in, for your clothes to just fit you. You know what I mean? To just fit you correctly. The next thing is to dress for your body type. I have like a slight hourglass body type. I'm very short and petite, and I have a little bit of curves, not the biggest curves ever, but a little bit of curves. So learning how to dress for that has been game changing. I know I look really good in low cut tops like v-necks or scoop necks. I also look good in bandeau type of style, like not bandeau but strapless type of clothing. I don't look so great in high neck or turtleneck stuff unless they're sleeveless, and sometimes even the sleeveless depends on the fabric. So I've learned to kind of be very careful with those fabrics unless it's a very loose satin top or something that is more flattering tucked into a skirt. So textures is another thing. Textures are everything when it comes to your clothing. I do prefer to stick with things that are very satin, cotton. I love a good silk. I love tweed. I love knits. I love mixing textures to create interest in an outfit. And layers. Yeah, looking put together has a lot to do with being intentional with the textures and the layers that you guys put together in your clothing. If you guys want more on this could be a whole other video because I'm not a fashion expert, but I've learned a thing or two over the years of some questionable outfits I put together, obviously, and then learning how to just evolve my wardrobe as I've gotten a little older. I think I've learned quite a bit. I have quite a bit to say, so maybe that will be its own video, but definitely having some knowledge towards your wardrobe and your wardrobe identity, like what color palette you like. I will come to my next point, and that is getting a color analysis test, usually very cheap, or you can usually do it online. I think, I don't really know. I got very lucky. I went to a wellness event and they did a color analysis, and I got these two things. The girl said that I would have been a darker autumn, I think, or not darker autumn, what did she call it, a warm autumn, if I had dark hair, but because I do have the blonde hair, she said I could be a girl. I can't remember. I'll overlay here. I have my color analysis test, but I pull these little cards out. I have them sitting inside my closet, and I pull these little cards out anytime I'm gonna go shopping online or pick a color for something. Usually, you guys know I wear a lot of pink, but that's the reason why I've been sticking to a lot more neutral pinks, because of my color analysis. Warmer peachy pinks are not the best with my skin tone, is what I learned. And honestly, I always did feel it looked a little off, like it made me look washed out kind of, and pinks like this just look so much better on me with my skin tone and my hair color. Ultimately, a more beigey blonde is what looks better on me. I was doing a lot of golden blonde also because the process from going dark to light is struggle, girl, so I needed to be golden for a little bit before we could tone to this. But golden looked really cute and I could pull it off, but I think that the beige blonde is ultimately the best way to tone my hair. A neutral beige blonde. The warmest I'll do is like a honey. I don't even know where to tell you to go, honestly, to do it. So, but if you see the opportunity to do a color analysis, girl, do it. It is so game changing. No longer struggle to figure out what makeup tones to wear, what colors of clothing to pick. I love it, and I've been delving into so much more chocolate browns and like colors that I used to never wear, like burgundies and stuff that I know look so good on me now because of the color analysis. For toys, I'm loving a cheetah print lately. That is, I rest my case, girl. Do a color analysis. I think that's it for the, I guess, fashion section of this. I think that I could probably say a lot more, but I'm going to stop it here because we'll be here forever. I do think there's another side of looking polished and confident that we don't really talk about that much on the internet. Because honestly, you can have all of these things I just mentioned: the perfect hair, the perfect makeup, the perfect fragrance, the perfect curation of your wardrobe, the perfect everything, and still not feel confident or polished. So with that being said, I want to talk about some things that make me feel confident and polished from the inside out. Let's get into the mental aspects of having routines. So I'm not saying that you need to have a routine and you need to be so strict and never you know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to have a skeleton of a routine. Whether you follow the routine religiously day in, day out, that's up to you, but you should have a skeleton of a routine that you always come back to. If you ever fall off, you can always get back up and know where to begin because you have that skeleton. So it's not just following someone else's routine. I know there's a lot of routines here on the internet and a lot of dailies that we just, you know, we post our routines to hopefully inspire your routine, but at the end of the day, your routine has to be yours, whatever that means to you. For me, another thing that makes me feel very, very just put together, reading books, reading and staying connected to my mind and my education and the things I'm learning and staying informed, basically, I think is part of what makes me feel polished and put together. For you, it may be something completely, totally different. For you, it may be playing sports. It may be working out. It may be yoga, Pilates. I don't know, but everybody has these different things in their life, routine, skeletons of their routine that is going doing to help you. Whatever that means to you, whatever genuinely makes you feel excited, happy, and to romanticize your life, that's what you need to do, because that's what's going to give you that magnetism and make you look poised and polished everywhere you go, and it's gonna make you feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? When you know yourself. The next topic I want to touch on is just identity. I think a lot of us spend a lot of our life figuring out who we are, and you know, that's a very human thing. It's a very human thing to constantly be figuring out who you are, and you will always be, because we're constantly evolving. I think there's a study on how, you know, humans change every 2 years or something like that, and that's very valid. But I think what I mean when I say identity is, at your core, there is this identity. No matter how much you change, you're always going to have like these core values. It's very important to be in touch with those core values, strengthen those core values, pay attention to what those core values mean to you, and live by them more. Don't ignore them. We can easily ignore things like that because life is crazy, it's busy, it's stressful. There are so many things that most of us do every day, and it could be very easy to forget about those core values. So I think it's very important to remind yourself of what those core values are, and there's many ways you can do that. One of them could be spirituality. For me, it's definitely praying, so that's why I'm saying that. I've always believed in God, and I've always believed in that connection that I have with God. So I think for me, that's what always brings me back to my core values. For you, it might be something totally different. But, you know, I'm just letting you know what connects me to my core values and how I stay grounded. Those things bring you back to your sense of self, your sense of identity. Knowing who you are at your core is a beautiful thing. That's what kind of brings confidence, is having that identity that is very strong about yourself, and knowing that no matter how other people can perceive you, you can differentiate with the fact that, you know, how other people perceive you is basically how they view you through their lens, and your lens is much different. The truth is much different sometimes, because that's just human. You know, other people are always going to see other people through their lens and their personal experiences. So you're not always going to be everyone's cup of tea. And honestly, you don't want to be, and it's a good thing that you're not. Lastly, it is how to remain in this confidence and in this feel-good state about yourself, regardless of how others feel about you. Because some of us have dynamics that are not very healthy, whether it's with family members, friendship, circumstances you just cannot control, and things like that. And I think it's very important for you to stay connected to yourself and to your truth in order to basically survive situations like that. Again, it's about remembering that perception is not truth. So truth lies somewhere in between perception. You may believe something about someone else yourself, and that may not be fully the truth, and reminding yourself of that can keep you incredibly humble, and it can keep you incredibly open-minded. And sometimes people won't reciprocate that back to you, the open-mindedness, being humble, being kind, understanding that everybody has had a different life experience and we're all living life for the first time. But you have to provide that for yourself, because that is for you. That state of mind and state of being is for you. Don't let other people make you bitter. You remain kind, open-minded, remain being understanding. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying to let anybody walk all over you. No. There has to be boundaries. There has to be an enforcement to the boundaries, and you have to love people from a distance sometimes, which is normal when it comes to this. But when I say stay kind, stay sweet, stay humble, stay open-minded, I'm not saying to let anybody walk all over you. I'm saying that in your mind and in your heart, you see that in others, and you don't make yourself bitter about things. Even if you have to keep your distance, disconnect from certain people, and if you have to protect yourself, that is totally fine. But always remember and hold positive and kind thoughts in your heart. You know what I mean? It can be very easy to get bitter. I've been there. I've done that. I've done this, that, and the third. People have done me very dirty in my life, as I'm sure for you guys as well. There's people who have done you very dirty. I think it's a very normal thing. But I like to always remember that those people are living life for the first time. Their life experience is not my life experience, and I have usually probably no clue why they've done the things they've done to me, but usually it has nothing to do with me. And taking away blame of yourself for situations that you cannot control, and situations that sometimes are just projections and are how other people are experiencing their life experience. It's very liberating. That ties into feeling good about yourself and remaining confident, because I cannot tell you guys how much I have struggled in my life to come back and feel confident again after certain situations that have happened to me. It's taken a lot of inner work. It's taken a lot of me working on myself in order to remember that if I'm taking something personally, it's because there is something personal there that is wounding me. So I don't know how to explain that much more than I just did. Hopefully that's making sense to you. But remember that our inner work and the stuff we have to work on with ourselves, it usually has nothing to do with the other person and what they did. People can cause wounds and cause trauma and cause all kinds of things, but you have to learn to heal on your own. You have to learn to stand on your own. It's very hard. It's incredibly difficult. At the end of the day, we're human. We are not indestructible. Things will hurt us. Things will injure us. And we have to remember that that's normal and that everybody is going through something usually. Very, very human for you to have feelings and emotions about certain things, but we have to be responsible for ourselves and healing ourselves, even from the things other people do to us, unfortunately. That brings me to the very last thing I want to talk to you guys about today. If you didn't have enough after this last thing, let me know and I can make a part 2. But hopefully this has been helpful for you. The very, very last thing I want to talk about is having self-awareness. I'm not saying not to have too much self-awareness, but honestly, it comes to a point where too much self-awareness can also be bad. And I'm not saying that you should not be self-aware. I'm saying that you need to be self-aware, but you need to learn to also let things kind of go and forgive yourself, because being self-aware but then punishing yourself for it is very counterproductive. So if you want to be magnetic and be confident and walk into a room and fill that room with a good aura, you girls have to learn to be forgiving to yourself. As forgiving as you are to other people, we are also living life for the first time, and we are human and we're gonna make mistakes, and you need to walk into every situation in every room being okay with failing, being okay with not knowing everything, being okay with being teachable, being okay with not having pride, having a complete ego death. You have to be okay with the fact that you are just human and that you're going to make mistakes. And you know what counts is honestly the way you come back from things. It's never really the mistake itself that is hurtful to other people either. I think it's more so about the way you act after you make the mistake. A lot of the times people don't understand that, you know, whenever you are able to repair from damage or repair from injury, whether you've injured someone else or someone else has injured you, I'm talking about emotionally, obviously, it is a beautiful thing. It is very, very beautiful to see. And you see this time and time again, even on reality TV shows where, you know, we end up all falling in love with the reality TV star that is self-aware but able to come back from their mistakes and able to repair from their mistakes. And I think that a lot of people live out of fear. They have like a fear-based coping mechanism or like a fear-based decision-making strategy, and I think that that is something that I've worked to heal about myself as well, is like going into things with fear actually is hindering you. You have to know that it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're scared or you're not scared, you're still gonna mess up, girl. Like, how do I put it? Like, you cannot go through this entire life being perfect, okay? That's impossible. So go into things with the mindset of like, you know what? I might mess this up. Oh well, like, I'm gonna learn. You know what I mean? Be teachable, be kind to yourself, have grace for yourself, as much grace, forgiveness, kindness, and patience as you extend to other people. Have that for yourself. Been the worst at this. I've always been so hard on myself, and finally I'm like, you know what? I'm just human. This gives you a confidence that I cannot describe. All of the things that I've talked about in this video, whether it was a physical part, whether it was a mental or emotional part, all of these things will give you just a very, very confident vibe about you. And it's just something that is so beautiful to see. It is so beautiful when I see it in somebody else. I've always strived to be this way. It's taken a lot of learning, a lot of ego death, a lot of pride being put away, and a lot of teachable moments, of course, and a lot of mistakes and things for me to reach this point in my life. And I'm sure I still have much more to learn. And of course, that's part of what I'm talking about, is that you're okay with that. You're okay with still learning. You're okay with not knowing everything. You're okay with messing up. And you're okay with continuing your life regardless. It's not the end of the world. And this is what's going to give you so much confidence, is know yourself, know your preferences, whether it's physical preferences, emotional preferences, mental preferences. Know what you love, know yourself. And I think that's kind of like the core of this video. You know, whether it's knowing what fragrance palette you like to wear, knowing what your makeup placement should look like on your face shape and eye color and hair color, knowing all of these things about yourself, investing in yourself in little small ways, whether they are physical, mental, or emotional, they will never be investments you'll regret. That I can promise you. Invest into yourself. It is not selfish. It is actually the most selfless thing you can do, is to invest in yourself, so that whenever you walk in a room, your cup can be full and you can pour into other people, and it is beautiful. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Again, if you want to see a part 2, let your girl know. I love you girls. I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.